Welcome back to the David Pakman Show.
Welcome to the bonus show. Hope everyone had a good holiday. Mine was all right. Dave's was all right. Dave will tell a good story about it tomorrow. And I got my new hoodie. Feels good. And what else? We're still working things out with the studio, with the look of things. Things are going to change a little bit, of course. Hopefully, we will have those graphics up behind us soon.
Very much so.
My TV isn't just a TV that's off behind me. That doesn't make much sense. So we're working on it. It's coming. It's coming along nicely. Bill Gates has told, I don't know who, told someone that he's going to invest as much as $2 billion in a clean energy partnership between the U.S. and India. And basically this is going to be research. It's going to be focused on researching and deploying carbon-free energy. I guess there are plans to include other philanthropists here. It seems a lot of the money is going to come from philanthropists. And it seems how governments aren't too interested in this type of thing. So good for Bill Gates. And anyway, a coalition of nations and India have agreed to double their research and development funding for clean energy. This is, kind of interesting. I mean, we're moving in the right direction here. I love that. As much as I hate our capitalist system sometimes, it allows for people like the Koch brothers to amass billions of dollars, and they use those billions of dollars to corrupt the country in every possible way they can. And then you have people on the other end of the spectrum, like Bill Gates and Elon Musk, who use the money to actually try and help the world.
I mean, I guess what you're saying is, in our capitalist system, sometimes the people who amass tons of wealth do some pretty good things with it.
Sometimes. Yeah, it's pretty rare, I think.
I mean, I guess it depends. Many of them do create jobs, even if they're not big philanthropists, right? I mean, a lot of big entrepreneurs.
Yeah, but a lot of them are creating jobs that are low paying. We could go on and on about that.
No doubt about it. But certainly still, I mean, businesses do create jobs, and that's a positive thing.
That is a positive thing. But, yeah, jobs are being created, I suppose. So anyway, this is... I'm not really sure what to expect from this, but 3-4 years down the road, are we going to see something like 90% efficiency solar panels, or are we going to see what's going to come out of this? I don't know, but he is going to invest $2 billion of his own money. He couldn't spend all his money if he wanted to.
And he actually recently said he was going to, Warren Buffett recently said he was going to start his own philanthropic entity. And then in speaking with Bill Gates, he felt so positive about what Bill Gates was doing. He said, why am I going to reinvent the wheel? I'm just going to give a ton of my money to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They seem to know what to do with it. And every indication that some pretty serious players like what Bill Gates is doing philanthropically.
Yeah. Yep. He's been doing some great work, Dave. It's probably the best thing to ever come from Microsoft. Windows, mainly.
Other than Windows XP itself, obviously.
Oh, XP. You're a big fan of XP? Is that your favorite?
Pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, Windows has been wonderful, of course.
Certainly. Nothing better than getting it right out of the box and it already crashing. I mean,
Yeah. There's nothing like a nice blue screen. Yeah. Anyway, there's this movie coming out. It looks terrible, but it's called Gods of Egypt. And it looks like some epic with crappy CG and who knows what the hell is going on. Gods physically fighting each other.
Stunning.
Yes. So the trailer came out, and immediately there was, I guess you could say, confusion, outrage, any number of words to describe people's reactions. But almost everybody basically everybody in the trailer is white. This takes place in ancient Egypt. They're all white, and there's only one person who is not white in the entire trailer, it seems, and they're only shown for a second or two, cowering behind some type of counter.
Right.
And I watched the trailer, and it's true. It looks a little bit ridiculous. Everybody is white, and apart from looking like a movie that I'm just not that interested in, because the trailer made it look terrible, there is this thing where everybody's white. And so, okay, there was the outrage, and then there was an immediate response from the, I don't know, from the director, Alex Proyas, who directed I, Robot, which was okay. It was kind of an entertaining movie, acknowledged the lack of diversity. And he said, "The process of casting a movie has many complicated variables, but it is clear that our casting choices should have been more diverse. I sincerely apologize to those who are offended by the decisions we made." In this instance, well, this is from Lionsgate. "In this instance, we failed to live up to our own standards of sensitivity and diversity, for which we sincerely apologize. We have, can, and will continue to do better."
What annoys me about the explanation and the response is that they're acting like people are complaining because they just don't have a diverse cast for the sake of having a diverse cast, right? It's not historically accurate that your movie about Egypt is all white people, right? It's not accurate. That's the issue. They're responding like, yeah, listen, we didn't do the PC thing and like have our token Asian woman and like a couple black guys and whatever. But it's not just about checking off boxes of diversity. It's just not historically accurate the way they're doing it.
But is it historically accurate that some Anubis statue comes to life and fights with some flying eagle thing?
Obviously not. Obviously, that's not historically accurate either. But I'm saying regionally, I mean, you could have a sci-fi movie, an alternate history or something, an alternate history sci-fi of Africa, and there might be technology in the movie that doesn't exist in real life. But that's not carte blanche to say, oh, and also everyone in Africa was white at the time, right? I mean, you can still, just because there are fictional elements to it, a statue that comes to life, doesn't mean that you say, well, let's just ignore everything. What's the point of even calling it Egypt? What's the point of it even taking place in Egypt then?
Yeah. I mean, certainly if you want it to be, I wonder how many people watch the movie and just that doesn't even occur to them. They don't even think about it.
I'm sure many.
And we've seen plenty of movies like this. I mean, the movie where, what was it called again? Basically, that snuff film about Jesus, Passion of the Christ. That's a pretty white dude right there.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that Jesus did not really look like him. And there are plenty of movies we could go on and on about. Oh my God! One of the best examples of this is when, what's his name, McClintock and the cowboy, famous actor,
Clint
John
Eastwood?
Wayne. John Wayne. When John Wayne played like Genghis Khan. Okay, talk about ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is insane. And I guess that was before Hollywood really started becoming PC. That was quite a while ago. But, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking of now the controversy with the new Star Wars movie, where there's like a stormtrooper that's black.
Well, no, it's not a stormtrooper. I think it's just like Luke wore the stormtrooper outfit in one of the old movies. I think this is just a character who's black who happened to be wearing a stormtrooper outfit.
Okay, but so then what's the controversy?
When people saw the trailer and they thought there was a black stormtrooper. I saw the trailer and I thought there was a black character wearing a stormtrooper outfit.
But what would be wrong with a black character wearing this, being a stormtrooper? Were the stormtroopers by definition white or something in the Star Wars
They're clones.
universe?
They're all the same.
Oh, they're all I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
That actually makes sense then.
Yeah. Every stormtrooper is supposed to look the same because
Got
they're
it.
all clones and they're okay. But people freaked out about that. And I thought to myself, well, how do you know this is supposed to be a stormtrooper? That's not a stormtrooper. It's just some guy in a stormtrooper outfit.
Fair point.
So, but people are idiots. Anyway, maybe he is a stormtrooper and they completely ruined the story. I don't know, Dave. I haven't seen the movie yet.
Or maybe it gets explained somehow in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, that could be. But if you, I don't plan on seeing this movie, Gods of Egypt, but if you do want a good laugh, look at clips from that John Wayne movie where he plays Genghis Khan, and he's got some woman with him who's white. I mean, I think it's, I don't know really what to say about it. It's just laughably ridiculous. But
Totally absurd.
But back then it was, people probably loved it and didn't even think about it. One more thing to talk about here. There's this app that is an augmented reality app. And what it does is it uses augmented reality to show you all the wireless signals that are around you. So it doesn't actually show you the wireless signals themselves. It doesn't somehow pick them up and interpret them, of course. It's more like an artistic representation of where they would be and what they would look like based on data from, networks and routers and whatever.
Right.
Okay. So, and in looking at a screenshot of it, it is pretty cool. And I have to say, I would be curious to kind of put that on a phone or an app and look at my place, look at the studio and see just how noisy it is. And I'm going to talk tomorrow about a new type of wireless data transmission.
I've read about it. Is this Li-Fi?
It is.
Yeah.
And I think this app can be probably just be cool, be fun. But for those who are worried about wireless signals
Right.
messing with their sleep, messing with their body, causing ailments, then I think this could be a pretty good tool, right?
I think that this opens the door to another type of tool that could be very good. You smell, you know how they add that smell to natural gas, which doesn't actually have a smell, but they add a smell to it so people can identify it and then call in.
Mm-hmm.
You have an app which is able to detect the chemical signature of natural gas. So you smell natural gas coming from that direction, you pull up this app, and it's an augmented reality app, and you look through it, and you can actually see the moving cloud or particles or whatever of natural gas, and you can conceivably look and trace it back to where the source is. Now, this might not be available just to everybody. It might not be like an end user level app, but if the firefighters that come out for a natural gas smell have this app, they take out a nice screen, an iPad screen or something, and they very quickly see, oh yeah, we've traced it to that particular pipe. This is where it's coming from. That would be a huge thing, and it could obviously be applied to much more than just natural gas, carbon monoxide, whatever.
Well, so that would be actual augmented reality instead of just and
Artistic.
I think that would be very complicated though, because for that you would need devices that actually detect the chemicals we're talking about,
Right.
and then somehow show you physically where they're going and where they're coming from.
As you look through your screen, obviously.
Yes, adding more complication, but it's not the worst idea you've ever had.
I think it's pretty good.
It's
The worst idea I had was moving the desk 6 inches to the right. Lewis did not like that idea. But my augmented reality idea for finding natural gas, that one he likes.
I'm a pretty big fan of moving the desk, which we're going to have to do at some point. But anyway, if you've used the app, tell us about it. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm not too worried at the moment about all that wireless stuff going around, but it does enter my mind pretty frequently.
Yeah, it's like I'm not acutely worried, but at the same time, I wonder, 10,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 300 years ago, whatever, we didn't have nearly as much invisible stuff going around us, and now we do. Does that have an impact? And I'm not someone who believes, there's people who I read an article, they go to some very rural place, and it's either North Carolina or Virginia, where there's because of research that's done with very sensitive telescopes or something, there's no wireless towers, there's no Wi-Fi, there's no internet, there's no anything. And people who are sensitive to wireless signals go there, and they reportedly feel much better and blah, blah, blah. Not at all backed by medicine. Medicine does not recognize that this is a thing. That's not me. I'm just curious, is there an impact? And if so, what will we eventually find that it is of all of these signals sort of in the air?
Yeah. I think we would both agree that if there is an impact, David, it's either inert or it's harmful.
Yeah, I can't imagine everybody's going to be much smarter or better off as a result of this, unless we get to the point where the knowledge that is traveling in the ether, in the sky, in the air around us can somehow be absorbed by cyborg devices that connect us to technology. I don't know, right? But other than that, I assume it's going to be either of no impact or negative for humans.
Yeah, and my guess is that it's negative. I'm not going to assume.
You're not bullish.
I'm not going to assume that all the stuff that is surrounding us and piercing us and Dave, I don't think it's inert.
All right.
I don't think it's inert. It's just a guess. Don't jump down my throat, people. It's just a guess. I'm entitled to my hypothesis.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.